Are you capturing all the content you need for marketing? Well, in this week's tip, we're going to show you how to do it. Hey, my name's Dan Brown. I'm the Senior Service Consultant here at MGE Management Experts. I'm also the Resident Marketing Specialist for the group, and I help our clients achieve a level of perfection in marketing that really accommodates what I call the fee-for-service practice type. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't take insurance or don't honor insurances, or that there's a PPO or two or three that you like and you're always going to keep. But a lot of our clients want to not be so dependent upon insurance-based patients, and they want to attract people who care more about the compassion and the care level than they do about what the insurance covers. So if that's you, you're in the right place. I'm going to give you a tip today about, well, how do I capture the culture inside my practice? How do I actually make what's going on inside my practice available outside my practice to those searching for a dentist near me, or an implant specialist near me, or a prosthodontist in my area, or. If you are a practice owner or you're a team member and you're trying to up your game on attracting those types of patients, the ones that care more about the experience, and they're not happy about paying more for your practice, but they will pay a few extra bucks just to have that level of care, compassion, comfort, and understanding from you and your team. Well, you're in the right place, and this is what we're going to talk about today. In order to capture the internal culture and communicate it outwardly, where are we communicating it? Our Google business profile, top of the list. Next, if you are in a Yelp sensitive area, you're in a metropolitan area and Yelp's a big deal for dentistry, your Yelp profile, your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile. I got to say it, your TikTok profile. Yeah, I said it. Listen, I'm 55 years old and I didn't expect to be talking to you about TikTok. But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Just like when Facebook came out, a lot of us were sneering at it. Oh gosh, look at all these people staring at themselves and talking about themselves. Yeah, that's in social media too. But social media is well explained in our 2-day workshop, something I'm going to highly recommend. It's a 2-day workshop. It's called the MGE New Patient Workshop. We do it on a Friday and a Saturday via Zoom online. It's relatively inexpensive and it's guaranteed for 6 months after you attend. Money back guarantee. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. So I'll put a link in that down below. But we go into how to capture this culture and where to post it and what to do with it and what's most important, what's least important, what are the guidelines to do and what are the guidelines not to do in social media and otherwise. But I'm going to tell you today, yes, it's very important to capture that internal culture. Now, how do we do it? How do we do it? Well, do we go out and spend a bunch of money, like thousands and thousands of dollars on a nice Sony or Canon or Nikon camera with, expensive glass? That's you say glass instead of lens when you're a photographer. No, you don't do that. You grab the camera you use all the time. What camera is that? It's this one. It's an iPhone or an Android. And if you've got a phone that was created in the last couple of years, you're golden. But I am going to recommend this. I'm going to recommend that before you turn in your older model phone for your newer model phone, you don't take the $112 credit that they give you for the phone that you bought for $1,200. Instead, you hold on to that phone and you label that your practice phone. You do not put a SIM card in it. You do not have a phone number connected to it. You do have it connected to your cloud backup. So for Apple, that would be iCloud. And for Android, that would be your Google Drive. And it automatically backs up every night. So if the phone walks away one day, you've got all your content, no harm, no foul, and you could erase that phone remotely. So have a practice phone. Doctors, you're welcome to have all your photos on your phone, but I do want you to think with HIPAA if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada, PIPA, and if you're in anywhere else, some other country in the world, you also have Patient Privacy Act type guidelines. So you have to think with those. If those before and after photos, great culture photos of patients are in your staff member's phone and that staff member is no longer working with you and is not being HIPAA compliant with that could be a potential HIPAA violation for you. You don't need that. So have a practice phone. Now you got a practice phone. If you're doing video and you're shooting video, great. Do not shoot in 4K. Please do not shoot in 4K. 4K is great if you are a videographer doing professional work and great Zoom work and all that stuff. Too big a file, too unwieldy for your video editor to edit, and it takes a long time to upload it and download it. So just shoot in HD. That's called high definition. You don't need to know anything more than that. Just use your normal video shooting. Now, I want you to pull out your iPhone or Android right now. I want you to open up the camera app. When you go to the camera app, and maybe we can put this on the screen, ideally, if you're shooting a photo, I want you to now go into opening up your phone. In an iPhone, it is portrait. So I want you to go into portrait. In portrait, you're going to see that you can have a little bit of a blurry background. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick a subject. It could be, your coffee mug on the desk, and behind the coffee cup, like 10 feet away, is the wall. I want you to hit the button focusing on your coffee cup, and you're going to see that the wall just went blurry. Okay, you can go up to the little F button on iPhone, and that's your f-stop, your aperture, simulated aperture, f-stop, and you don't need to remember any of that. That's how much depth of field you have. And there's a little bar that comes along. You could scroll across all the way to the left, very blurry in the background. All the way to the right, you can see everything in the room, everything's in focus. Why are we doing that? We're doing that because we want the viewer to put their attention on the subject. In this case, it's your coffee cup or your cat sitting on, the desk, and everything else in the background is blurry. Now in Android, you're also going to go into portrait photo. Might be different on Androids, different things, but it's about that. So look for portrait in iPhone, portrait photo, or portrait in Android. In video, I want you to now go to your camera and see if you have cinematic in an iPhone. See if you have cinematic right now. If you touch cinematic, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to make the subject in focus and the background blurry. So you want to have some distance behind the subject. And it gives this nice professional look. In Android, it's portrait video. So see if you have portrait video, and you might have to go in your more settings, click the more settings and see portrait video. Now what do you got? You got something that looks like a professional camera. If you see me right now, it's a little bit blurry behind me. Not very, but it forces you to look at me, and everything else in the background is soft. When you are in just your normal photo or your normal video, everything's in focus. So everything can be seen. I want you to just do that. I want you to go take a picture of your staff. I want you to find a spot in your practice. Have them, it's the same spot. Every team member is going to sit there. It could be in the hallway. It could be out front. Some nice greenery in the background with the sun shining. Do it in the morning or in the at dusk or dawn. You don't want the sun coming straight down. And have them stand like this. They could stand like this with a big smile. They could stand like this. They could cross their feet. They could put their hands in front of them. Or their hands behind them and a big smile. Just pick a pose. They all can choose one of those, and they're leaning against the wall with their arms crossed. That's acceptable. Have some fun with it. Take a picture of each staff member, post that on social media, get that uploaded to your website, of course, and talk a little bit about your team, who they are in the practice, who they are outside the practice. Do they have a pet? Do you have a picture of them with their pet? Do they have a family? Are they comfortable with sharing that? Should you get a waiver for that? Probably not a bad idea, and we can help you with that at the New Patient Workshop. But that's one tip on, the best camera in the world to use, which is the camera in your pocket. That and many more tips are what are coming in both this series and, of course, at the New Patient Workshop. So if you're liking what you're seeing, this is helpful. Click the subscribe button. I want you to enable all notifications so you get a little notification when we come up with a new tip. And, if you got any questions, you got any comments, put it down there. We're going to check it out. If you want more videos covering a very specific thing, let us know and we'll do a video on it. I hope that helps for now, and we'll see you on the next one.